What's going on, guys? Lucky Lag 360 here, back with Out of the Park Baseball, and we are in the new game, OOTP 23. I'm excited to get into this. We are going to continue our Miami Marlins franchise, where we've had an interesting season. We've actually been doing pretty well, but we'll get into this here in a minute. We're just going to import this game. Hopefully it all goes well and there's no issues with the game. Kind of excited to see some of the new features. I know the UI is a little bit different. My good friend Night Baseball and Sports is doing a Nationals franchise in OOTP 23 if you want to go check that out. Been watching his series. Looks pretty much like the same game. There's a few changes though. My biggest disappointment so far has been the trade. They have not fixed it at all. You can trade. He did a trade, D. Gordon for Merrill Kelly, which makes no sense. And you've seen some of the trades that I've done on this series. Now I believe there is a slider where we can up the trade difficulty, but I don't know how much it actually changes things. But we're going to try that out and see, because I would like to actually have to do more realistic trades. Now, obviously, it's still hard to win, even if you get a ridiculous team. We've had some stacked teams. Look at the Orioles franchise we did, if you were watching that one. We had a pretty stacked team. We made the playoffs every season, and yet we could not get past the divisional series. So it doesn't really matter necessarily who you get. It's just, I'd like it to be a little bit more realistic. All right, so it looks like we are in here and everything imported. We are the Marlins. Yep. All right, we are continuing where we left off. June 1st, 2023. Currently, we're 31-19, a half game behind the Phillies in the NL East. The Braves 24-20, 4.5 games back. Mets 26-23, 5 games back. And the Nationals 14-28, 13.5 games back. Around the league, the Cubs are leading the Central, Padres in the West, Mariners in the AL West, White Sox in the AL Central, and the Rays half game ahead of the Blue Jays in the AL East. And in the AL West, actually, the Mariners, Angels, and Astros are all tied at first place, basically. Although the Mariners have one less loss, but also one less win. So interesting how the standings are working out. Just a reminder, this is how the team looks right now. We have Trevor Bauer, Alex Wood, Pablo Lopez, Sandy Alcantara, and Trevor Rogers in the rotation. In the bullpen, we have Fishman, Cabrera, Alvarez, Richards, Poet, Thompson, Ferguson, and Barlow as our closer. And the lineup is Lopez, Cooper, Chisholm, Jimenez, Beatty, Escobar, McKinney, Estudo, and Kelenic rounding things out in the 9-hole. Kelenic is struggling, batting .199, but he does have 5 home runs. I'm hoping that we can get his bat going. He actually did pretty good in a small sample size with us last year when we got him from the Mariners. 45 games, hit 8 home runs, 275 average. So he wasn't terrible last year, but this year the bat is not there. So, he's still 23 years old. We do have him on 1 year, 58 days in terms of service time. If you guys remember, this is a famous case of service time manipulation with Kelenic. The Mariners were timing his call up. Of course, I did a little bit more manipulation. I believe I sent him down like 1 day before he got to that full year last year. So he actually will have an additional season with us under team control, which is nice. But you got to take advantage of the rules when you can. Obviously, it's terrible from a player perspective, but we're not the players in this game. We're the GM, so we got to do what we got to do for this team and try to win. Right now, let's see. We have $18 million available. This is how our team is looking in terms of the coaching staff. And, of course, our counting there. Owner is Derek Jeter. Of course, Bruce Sherman got drunk and renamed the team to the Pilgrims. If you guys missed that episode, that was ridiculous, of course. What a stupid name. And it makes no sense for Miami anyways, even if it was a good name. So Bruce Sherman got ousted as the owner of the Marlins, and Derek Jeter took over and renamed them back to the Miami Marlins. which is what their name should be, because nothing else really makes as much sense. So that is a little bit of the past there. So we're going to get into our simulation here. We got international free agents here. And I actually really like signing international free agents because usually they do pretty well. So let's see here. Where are we at? AllStar Voting is coming up. And AllStar Voting is kind of fun to do. It takes a little while, but, I did it with David in the Nationals franchise. You guys will see that episode coming up shortly. We pre-recorded those ones, so it's still going to be OOTP 22 for a little bit. But, despite the UI change, the game's basically the same, so it's not a huge deal if you guys want to just take a look at that series. Garrett Crochet, 6-3 with a 1.63 ERA, doing really well. Brendan McKay, 2.25. Lance McCullers, 2.18. So we'll go with those three. And the starting rotation for the All-Star team. And then bullpen-wise, I see Avalon has a 1.08 ERA. Castillo, 0.54, which is really good. Let's see. Who else? Bender has a 1.35. So we'll do Bender. Catching-wise, let's see. Scott Manea is doing good. First base. Gavin Sheets looks like the best guy there. Bo Bichette or Jorge Polanco. I'll go with Bo Bichette. For third base, Wander Franco is probably the obvious decision there. I've noticed the game really likes Urshela. Gio Urshela is always hitting well, but he's not the best at third base. Third base is kind of a tough position because there's a lot of good hitters there. Mondesi looks like best shortstop hitting-wise right now. Outfield, Adele is actually doing pretty well. I see that Badu, I believe, is actually crushing it. 352, you can't ignore that. And then center field, you got Trout. You have to go with Trout. Right field, Brendan Marsh, doing really well. DH, let's see here. We got Shohei Ohtani. All right, so for NL, we get to submit our ballot here. Let's try to get as many guys on for the NL as we can. We'll start with starting pitching. Let's see. Miami, we got to go with Rogers, Wood, and Bauer. Got to just vote all Miami down the board because we got to support our team. Alvarez. Who else? Richards. Is there anybody else? Oh, Barlow. There we go. Studo can be the catcher. Just going to vote for our entire team here. Nicky Lopez, which I think, honestly, I think our team is actually really good. I think we have a solid foundation. I think we need to upgrade a few positions. Probably third base is like our weakest. Noisy hasn't really been doing much. But I think that, honestly, this team is pretty solid. Garrett Cooper there. Garrett Cooper actually probably deserves an all-star. All right, so we'll submit the ballot. So we are good there. We'll continue. International free agents come up July 1st, so we'll be taking care of that. Got an achievement there, on-base streak and going streaking, which is nice. 31-game on-base streak by Garrett Cooper. He's been crushing the ball this season. Wood is out for 4 days. That's okay. Not a huge deal. So right now we're in first place, actually, just ahead of the Phillies. Game and a half up, which is super nice. But they're, right there with us. Braves are also there, as well as the Mets. So kind of a competitive division right now. I'm not sure what happened there. Oh, Devers, Jose Devers. I'm not sure where Devers came from, but we have him. I guess, oh, he was a Rule 5 pick, so he would be returned to us if we want him. Can I just throw him in AAA? Cool. I'll throw him in AAA then. Nice to have him back. He might actually be useful for us. In fact, let's take a look here. Okay, so some stuff has changed. We have the overview there, but then we can actually look here. Let's see. Noisy 216. He's not hitting well for us at all. He has not been good for us, which is kind of a disappointment because I wanted him to do well. McKinstry is not doing well either. I think I'll send down Noisy though. And I'm going to give Diaz another opportunity. And let me just copy this lineup over because it's kind of messed up. In fact, I can just do this. Copy and paste. There. All right, so we have... I forgot that we got Escobar. We did trade for Eduardo Escobar. And he's been okay for us. But not too great. Hopefully he'll be better. Zach Thompson in the bullpen has been phenomenal. 0.99 ERA. Hopefully he keeps that up. He's liking that setup role a lot. So we'll definitely keep him there as long as he's good. Now, Nicky Lopez is leading the league, or he was, in batting average. It's going back and forth between him and Frazier. So he's having a great year, up in the 340 and 350 range there. So hopefully he'll keep that up. I think he'll get to 200 hits. Looks like Rogers and Lopez improved. Cabrera kind of decreased. Bauer increased a little bit on movement, but other stuff he went down on. Everybody else looks pretty good. A lot of ratings changes there. All right, international free agent time. It's July 1st, so we have quite a few international free agents available to us. And obviously, Willie Campos is the biggest one here. So we're going to offer him a contract. And we have a lot of money available. You know, we have $18 million. So we're going to offer these guys some deals because, you know, we're in Miami, so we're very attractive to the foreign market, especially Latin America. You know, who wouldn't want to come to Miami if you're, say, in Cuba or the DR or something like that. So we have an advantage there. And the fact that we have so much money available, we're able to spend the money here. Australia probably wouldn't want to come here. Randy Morris, well, it's worth an offer. Why not? But we're just going to offer all these guys deals because most of them will sign with other teams, but it's worth doing, you know, a lot of these just to see if we can get a couple of them. You know, and most of these guys are 16. In fact, all of them except for one is 16, so there's that. We'll stay away from the 3-star potential. Well, catcher, nah, we'll stay away. It's good. So we have those offers done, and anybody on the waiver wire that we could pick up? Jimmy Nelson is on the waiver wire. That would be interesting. Max Scherzer? That's interesting. Maybe we go for Max Scherzer? Nick Trupiano? Alan Webster? Max Scherzer. Why is he a half-star? We're going to claim Max Scherzer. We'll see if we can bring him onto the team. That would be an interesting addition. Shohei Ohtani is on the trading block? I wonder what it would take. Oh, we have no players. We literally have no players. Man, that would be tough to trade for Ohtani, that's for sure. But anyways, this is how the team is looking right now. Lopez, again, having a great season. Perfect leadoff hitter. No power whatsoever, but he's hitting .343. So you can't complain about that. And Cooper, Chisholm, and Jimenez provide plenty of power in the middle of the order. Probably going to move Escobar up and Beatty down, but I don't like back-to-back lefties. So we'll see what we do there. But I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Be sure to like and subscribe. Comment down below if you have any suggestions for this franchise. And I will see you guys for the next one.